back to, uh, I guess, my resurrection, per se. Because, last video I said if Yuri loses, I'm gonna kill the channel forever. And, well, I didn't necessarily, follow up on that, so you could consider this my resurrection. Alright? Now, this week we got, hey, the press conference. These guys were jawing the entire time. I mean, it was mostly just like, I mean, they were kind of being retarded with it, right? It's like Hamzat would just be like, "How am I gonna do a Hamzat impression?" He just kept saying that he's gonna beat Strickland up like his daddy did. He's gonna be like, "I'm your daddy, brother. You my bitch." And then Sean would be like, "Here's the fucking thing about this pussy, you guys. You're like," he just like kept saying he's a pussy, and it was just essentially that the entire time. But I still enjoyed it. This is like what the UFC needs, right? They need these fucking press conferences to be like that all the time. So this is great for the UFC. I'm here to capitalize off the algorithm boost that it's gonna give me making a breakdown. But yeah, essentially, just we need a hero. We need a hero. We need Strickland to win, right? So I don't know if I'm gonna pick him. I'm probably not, but because I kind of want to jinx it too into having Sean win. I'd rather get my pick wrong and have Sean win, right? Than pick him, have him lose, look like a retard for not picking Hamzat. You know what I mean? Like that's what it is. But yeah, we got a really good card this weekend. We also got what else going on this weekend in the worldly news? Operation Freedom now. That's what Hegseth is calling it. Defensive operation, I guess. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Uh, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Professor Zhang told me that the United States is losing, but Pete Hegseth says we're winning, so I don't really know who to believe. And I'm not going to believe the news media or people, on YouTube. I'm not going to believe Candace Owens. She doesn't know what's going on, right? Tucker doesn't know what's going on. He's doing his fucking podcast, right? Not that I watch Tucker or Candace Owens anyway, but like, not like I don't know who to listen to. I read the, Israeli media as well because they're involved in it. They say that they have no clue what's going on either. So I guess Hegseth is just, you know, he's just gonna do whatever he wants. I think that's what's gonna happen. It's just gonna be Hegseth is just doing whatever he wants at this point. Which now to get into my stance of whether I'm for that or against that, well, it depends. Like I'm not gonna be one of these people that's just gonna be like, "Oh my God, dude, Trump is so bad. Why are we starting this war? What is he doing? This is stupid. This is the worst thing ever. Israel owns us, And maybe Netanyahu like telepathically connected with me to make me say that just there, but I'm also not gonna say that like this is the greatest thing ever, right? This is not the greatest moment of the 21st century that we're going through. No, we're just like kind of shooting a couple bombs on the Iranian, structure. And like the media keeps putting out these pictures of like U.S. bases being hit. It's like, okay, like I don't even know if those are real, right? So I don't know. And the ceasefire is over. I don't care about that. So I don't know. Whatever goes on with that is just, I'll say if we lose and get a bad deal out of this, I'm gonna be pissed, right? Because like if we do all this shit to get a bad deal, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. If we let Hegseth cook and we get a good deal and then eventually gas goes down, because I'm looking at like what is the price of gas going to be when this is all said and done, right? Like will gas if gas goes down under like 350, 350 would be sweet. I would call that like kind of worth it if gas prices go because the only because under Trump last time and before he started this shit, gas would be like 370, right? But it would never go below that. You know what I'm saying? And under Biden, it would be like 430. But so I'm just trying to see like what are like if we win this and get a good deal, okay, how low will gas prices go like next year? Like that's the only thing that's gonna really tell, right? So I can't really make a definitive opinion on whether this is worth it or not yet. But we just have to let it play out, and I guess we got to let Hegseth get it back in blood. You know what I'm saying? But you just got to let him get it back in blood and wait and see. But yeah, this. I mean, and obviously, yes, Israel wants to keep it going because, dude, I see their media. They're mad. They're gonna be mad if Trump makes a deal. Like, if Trump makes a deal, they're not gonna be happy. But they're scared because they know he can make a deal, right? So like, they aren't really running. Like the media keeps saying, and I say the media, it's just people on YouTube, like Candace and Tucker. Even the Young Turks are saying that Netanyahu runs the ship, but it's like the Israeli media is saying no, Trump runs the ship, and they're scared about it because they don't want him to make a deal. So I don't know, but Hegseth wants to cook, and maybe Hegseth's bought out by Israel. You know what I mean? He seems to think that they're allies, so maybe Hegseth's own mentality's gonna keep him in it. And Hegseth he's only trying to get this back because he's mad that Bush invaded the wrong country back in '01. He fought in there, right? So from his perspective, he's like righting the wrong of the war on terror. That's what he's doing, and that's what I realized today. It's like when he did his stupid little presser, he was like, he thinks he's righting the wrong of the war on terror. And to be honest, he's kind of going about it in a way smarter way than like Bush and Obama did anyway. And he is invading the right country this time that's funding all the terrorists. The problem is the American public doesn't really want to go to war with terrorists right now. He still does, but he's trying to right the wrong. But also, now they're richer and more powerful and have a better military, Iran, right? Because Iran's who we should have invaded back in '01. Well, not should have invaded anyway. So I don't know. We'll just see how this works. 6 minutes. Bro, I like how I hide my MMA YouTube channel as political commentary. That's funny. But I don't know. That's what's going on. Very complicated subject, You're getting the inside scoop here, but what else? I mean, there's hantavirus. I mean, my sources haven't confirmed yet, but Jordan Santos might be one of the sources of hantavirus. Nah, I'm kidding. That's got to be racist, but yeah, I don't know. Listen, I don't know what to think though, right? Professor Zhang didn't make a video on hantavirus yet. Okay, so yeah, he does that. She goes, "Here's the thing about hantavirus. Okay, is that this is very bad," and he writes a very bad on the board or something. That guy's retarded. If you watch Professor Zhang videos, you're retarded. But how about we pick some fights? Well, like we got a great UFC card this weekend. Why don't we indulge in some bread and circuses? All right. Jesus Christ, I'm wilding out on this one. But yeah, let's see. And I only watch UFC because I want to watch people fight each other. I don't actually really care about Sean or Hamzat's build up, to be honest. Like all the, like all the, I'm not gonna say the G word, but you know what I'm gonna say. But yeah, I don't care about the build up. I mean, I do care because that means people are gonna watch and they're gonna watch the sport I like, and I'm gonna get more views, and I'm gonna be able to talk about actual fights with people more. So I guess that's why I like it. Because I'm a UFC fan, I like to watch people fight each other. I'm like, what I mean? I'm like Pete Hegseth, bro. I just want to see blood. But, nah. Let's pick this fight. Jose Ochoa versus Clayton Carpenter now. Jose Ochoa is actually one of the best prospects in 125 because he had a close fight. Dude, he had a close fight with Lawner Kavanaugh when they fought. I think it was about a year ago, right? He fought Lawner Kavanaugh. Lawner Kavanaugh just beat Moreno. And he was putting it on Lawner Kavanaugh at the end. And last fight, he had a tough fight with Asuam Abayev, which honestly, I thought he should have won. I thought he got robbed because, I mean, Asuam Abayev would take him down and get on top, right? But he wouldn't land any ground and pound shots on Jose Ochoa. Jose Ochoa played a good defensive guard game. He limited the damage. And when they were on the feet, he was landing knees. He was landing all his punches, right? It's just when he would throw his kicks, they would get caught and he would get taken down, which pissed me off because he kept throwing kicks. But I thought he should have won against Asuam Abayev. I think he's so. If I think he should have won, I think he should be ranked in the top 15. And I think he is actually that level, right? He's at that level to compete with really high level guys, and he's really young. He's only 25. He's getting better, you know, in between fights. And Clayton Carpenter has taken losses. He lost to Tagir Ulanbekov. So I think if Clayton Carpenter doesn't, if he can't grapple Jose Cho, which I don't think he can, he's gonna lose. So I'm gonna pick Ochoa to actually TKO Carpenter because I think he's kind of lethal on the feet, and he's tough as shit too. He has a crazy chin. So yeah, we're gonna go with Ochoa to get. I want him to get a TKO here, but I'm just saying, watch Jose Ochoa. This dude's a beast. All right. Um. Yeah, but Carpenter lost to Tagir. I can't pick you to win if you're losing to Tagir. I mean, we saw the Horiguchi Tagir fight. That was my thumbnail. But anyway, next fight on the card: Hamzat's buddy Bysangor Susurkayev versus the Jordan Santos. Now, I'm not gonna pick the Jordan Santos by Hantavirus, but holy fuck. But I think that I think I want to see the Jordan Santos win. He fights so fucking goofy, bro. He throws the worst overhand punch mechanics I've ever seen. Like you guys know how when Diego Lopez drops a Volk with the stupid ass clubbing right hand that he threw. Dude, that's how Jordan Santos throws every single punch. I'm not kidding. But he won against Danny Barlow last time, so he might have that dog in him. He's tough as shit. You can't really knock him out. He's got crazy cardio. He's always just in your face. But I think I'm gonna pick Susurkayev because I think Susurkayev is gonna have a huge grappling advantage. So yeah, Susurkayev's gonna win that one. But hey, the Jordan Santos money line. That's the best bet of the card from my models. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, the Jordan Santos is gonna lose. That's what I'm saying. One more thing on the Iran war that was like, bro, if gas prices don't really go back down that far, then we lost. That's all I'm saying. All right, so Pat Sabatini versus William Gomes here. We got Pat Sabatini dude, I think Pat Sabatini's just gonna outgrapple him and submit him. I mean, William Gomes hasn't really he's won fights against short stocky guys, but Pat Sabatini is I think a way better grappler than anybody Gomes has fought yet. So, and Pat Sabatini's on a run. He's actually picking up good wins recently. So I'm gonna pick Sabatini to. I think I should pick him to submit Gomes. Yeah, I mean it doesn't matter, but yeah, Pat Sabatini's a way better grappler than Gomes. Gomes is gonna try to back up. He backs himself up to the fence so much. That's the thing I'm looking for. William Gomes, although he's tall and rangy, he doesn't actually land straight punches well at all. If you have any resemblance of head movement, he's not going to land on you. And he backs himself up to the fence all the time. And that's ripe for Pat Sabatini to run his game. And Pat Sabatini's game is perfect. He trains with Sean Brady. They run the fence wrestling game to a T. So for jiu-jitsu guys, obviously. So yeah, I think Pat Sabatini is just gonna walk Gomes down, get a takedown against the cage, and then just work him until he submits him pretty much. But if Gomes does land a knee up the middle and knock out Pat Sabatini, that's a possibility as well. But I just think Pat Sabatini's gonna be smart enough to time his takedowns and set up his shot good. So yeah. All right, let's do I have to fly through the picks this fast? Kind of do. This video will be like an hour. All right, next fight on the card: Roman Kopylov is back against Marco Tulio. Now, I picked Roman Kopylov last time against RoboCop because I thought he was better. He won the third round when he actually wasn't scared and started to fight. That's one thing I want to point out. So my analysis wasn't incorrect, but maybe I should have just picked RoboCop because he was gonna win. But I just wanted to point out by doing that Roman Kopylov is better. Not to try to Lucas Tracy Max or anything, because Lucas Tracy always picks this guy, but no, I'm just trying to I was just wanting to point out that he's kind of skilled and he's good with his kickboxing, but if you don't get your kickboxing started until you're losing the entire fight and there's only half the time left in round 3, you're gonna lose. So that's what Roman Kopylov's game plan was, I guess. But anyway, Marco Tulio is Wait, no, this guy's good, right? Am I tripping? Marco Tulio. I know he just lost, but he's good. I'm checking Tapology right now. Give me a second. Yeah, he's good. He lost to CLD. Okay, yes. Yeah, that okay, yeah, that was kind of brutal, but that was a crazy finish from CLD to get. But this guy's good. Like Marco Tulio is very good. He's very powerful, very explosive, very fast. I mean, God, just fucking zip it up, but he is good. So, and I don't think Kopylov is going to be able to match the speed, and I think he's going to be getting picked apart early. The only question is, will Tulio gas out? I don't think so. I think he's actually going to get a finish here against Kopylov because he's more willing to throw rear side body kicks than Kopylov is going to be. And I think he's just going to be whipping rear side body kicks at Kopylov the whole time, like Paulo Costa kind of was. And then he's going to be putting the 1-2 on him, rip a body kick, put the 1-2 on him, move, track him down as Kopylov's backing up and trying to get his offense going, but he can't because his defense isn't good. He can't really block anything. And I think it's going to be he's going to swarm him, but I just don't know. Like, if he doesn't get it done early, is Kopylov going to come back and win at like sort of a tit for tat striking battle? I'm not sure. I think Tulio should still be able to win a tit for tat striking battle because he's faster. But yeah, I think he's good. I still think he's good after the CLD finish. I still think Tulio's really good, and Roman Kopylov has been shit recently. So that's why we're gonna pick Tulio. But I mean, this should be an exciting fight if Kopylov actually shows up to fight this time. If he doesn't, then fucking whatever. Hopefully Tulio sleeps him, and that's what's gonna happen. So that's why the UFC made that matchup. But yeah, okay, Jamil, dude, I can't get Professor Zhang out of my head. He's a fucking fake professor, dude. Like, like that, dude. That guy's a fake. People listen to him for advice. That guy's a fake professor. He's not even a real professor, and he talks about nothing. Nothing that guy says means anything. I don't get. I mean, I know why people listen to him because they want to sound smart, right? But dude, that guy's retarded. All right, next fight on the card. Dude, I gotta stop wilding it. I'm getting a bit wild on this card with this breakdown. I mean, I talked about the war for 7 minutes, but Jim Miller versus Jared Gordon. Um, bro, what am like? Why? Why would they do this? Why are they putting this on TV to show people? Watch it. It's gonna be like, all right. I'm not saying it'll be bad because and people don't really know the sport, so like anytime punches will land, it'll be a scrappy war. People are gonna like it, but this is gonna be a very low level fight. It's gonna be bad because Jared Gordon got his ass beat by Rafa Garcia last time, and Rafa Garcia just beat Alexander Hernandez, which is not a bad win, but Jared Gordon's knees are shot at this point. Wait, yeah, Jared Gordon's knees are shot at this point. I mean, he did beat Patty, but that was what, 2 years ago? He's 37, he's old. But dude, Jim Miller is actually worse. He's so much older. So the question I'm trying to answer is, do I think that this version of Jared Gordon is going to be able to beat a crafty. Can Jim Miller craft it up? Has Jared Gordon declined enough to where Jim Miller can craft it up and beat him, right? But dude, seeing Jim Miller recently, it's worse. He's declined even more since his initial decline. I don't I don't know what to do with this one. I think it'll just be like an old man scrap, right? I'm gonna call this one's gonna be like an old man scrap between Jim Miller and Jared Gordon. But I guess I guess I'll say Gordon because he's more likely to catch Jim Miller with heavy hand. Like he still has heavy hands. He knocked out Thiago Moises recently. Oh, I say recently, like last year. But yeah, I'm gonna just pick Jim Miller because I think, or no, Jared Gordon. My bad. I'm picking Gordon because I think he's gonna have heavy enough hands to drop Jim Miller and hurt him. So yeah, that's my pick for that one. Next, Grant Dawson and Rebetsky. Wow, they're now. My thing of this is, dude, Rebetsky is actually a terrible matchup for Grant Dawson. Now, Grant Dawson is good. I think he's good. He's really good at wrestling. His control grappling is really high level, but dude, that's about all he can do in an MMA cage, right? Is just control grapple. If he can do that to you, he gets knocked out. Like we saw him get slept in his last fight by Torres, which I predicted to happen, because I'm a genius or whatever. But yeah, he out wrestled Diego Ferreira, out wrestled Rafa Garcia. Like before that, like he was on kind of a run of just, you know, smudging people and submitting them with smudge. But the thing about Rebecki is, I don't know if you can smudge him like that. He's too short and stocky. And when it comes to the striking, I think Rebecki hits a bit harder on the feet. Does he though? I think he does. Yeah. So I don't know what to do with this one because I want to pick Rebecki because I think he is a tough matchup. He should be able to defend takedowns, but dude, I don't. Um, fuck, bro. I don't know what to pick with this one. I guess we'll go. I'm gonna pick Grant. Yeah, fuck it. Bro, America. I'm picking Grant because he's American. That's literally it. I don't give a fuck. Grant's winning this. He's gonna come in with improved striking. He's gonna come in hunting that takedown with his improved striking. He's gonna be able to set it up better. He's gonna get it, and we're gonna rear naked choke Rebecki. Although I'm not gonna hate on Polish fighters because I'm half Polish, I think. But yeah, I'm gonna pick Grant because he's American, pretty much. All right, next fight on the card: Yoel Alvarez versus Yaroslav Amosov. Now, Ukrainian war veteran Yaroslav Amosov. Uh, I'm not gonna say thank you for your service because I don't care about that war. I already talked about the war I care about, right? I don't care that Putin wants to make AI. You know what I'm saying? But he can fucking invade and try to make AI if he wants. I don't give a fuck. I ain't sending no weapons there. But to help your dude, this is getting out of hand. I ain't Biden. I ain't sending no weapons to help Yaroslav Amosov. Just use a PlayStation controller and drop shrapnel drones on Russian soldiers. Or that's what they do, right? You see the videos. That's what he was doing. He's playing PlayStation, but he's playing PlayStation in real life Call of Duty. Jesus, we're gonna dude. Anybody who actually watches this video through is gonna fucking hate me. But yeah, uh, this is a tough fight because Amosov just went out and submitted a long, lanky guy with scrappy grappling like Neil Magny. And I think at welterweight, Joel, I don't know if he has better takedown defense at welterweight. Because his last fight with Luque, throw that out. That doesn't fucking tell me anything about this. I still don't know, how Joel Alvarez is going to be at welterweight. And at this point, he's 33, he's older, right? So this is kind of tough. He's a good fighter, and I kind of want to pick him because I have faith in him. I think he's really good. But man, I think Amosov can smudge him. So I'm officially gonna predict Amosov to win because I think he can take him down and smudge him. But I mean, how are we losing to Jason Jackson, right? But yeah, I'm gonna pick him to smudge him. I don't know about submit. I don't know how good his ground and pound is gonna be if he's gonna like do what Armin did to Joel Alvarez, which I don't think anyone else besides Armin could do what Armin did to Joel Alvarez. But I don't know if Amosov's gonna be able to do that. But I'm just gonna predict him because I kind of see a world where, Joel's trying to play his long rangey striking game, but Amosov is just too stocky and strong when he gets in on takedowns, and he's gonna be able to take down Joel Alvarez and beat him up just a bit, enough to get a decision. But on the feet, it's just so on the feet. Like that's the thing. I don't know if Joel Alvarez has like, if he's just gonna touch him with the straight right hand and knock him out, because that's how he would win. But I don't know if that's gonna happen. I like Joel though. So you know what? Fuck it. We're gonna pick Joel Alvarez. Oh my god, dude. This is gonna look bad because I just shit on the Ukraine war. But but I'm gonna pick Joel Alvarez to win. And my bad. But had an itch in my nose. Yeah, we're just gonna pick Joel to win, I think. We're just gonna pick him and hope he defends the takedowns. How about that? Next fight. Bro, how do they rebook this? That's insane that they rebooked this. Ozzy Diaz is back. Now, I have a hot take about Ozzy Diaz. When he fought DeJordan Santos, who's all the way down here on the card, was DeJordan Santos' debut. DeJordan Santos was brutally robbed last time he fought, when he fought against Ozzy Diaz in his debut. I'll never forget that one, mostly because I had money on it, but I'll never forget that, okay? That pissed me off so fucking much. Because DeJordan Santos was actually landing all the punches, and fucking Rogan and DC were fucking coming their pants every time Ozzy Diaz landed a jab. Yes, he was getting a jab going, but did you not see the 15 punches DeJordan Santos landed before Ozzy Diaz just stuck him with a jab? I don't know what the fuck they don't know what they're watching, and it pisses me off. That shit pissed me off. And that being said, if you're getting landed on by DeJordan Santos that often, well, most people do because he's a fucking dog, right? Nah, Ateba is gonna fucking knock his fucking head into the fucking. He's gonna knock his head into the fucking third row. That's what I'm predicting. Alright? Ateba's gonna knock Ozzy Diaz's fucking head into the third row. Because Ozzy Diaz doesn't. And the last guy Ateba fought gave him a tough fight. But dude, Ateba does not have. Like, okay, Ozzy Diaz does not have actual good footwork like the last guy Ateba fought. The last guy Ateba thought that fought was good, and I said it in I said it in like the prediction I made. Like that guy has solid footwork. He's decent. He's coming off a win. That guy's a decent fighter. Ozzy Diaz is not a decent fighter. Ozzy Diaz is garbage, and that's why they're giving him this fight. Ozzy Diaz is bad, very bad, dude. And Ateba's gonna fucking smoke him. Smoke him. The only reason that the Ateba having having a close fight last time is good is because it lowers his money line and you can bet on him. Yeah. What are the odds? I'm checking what the odds are. Minus 1400. If he would have walked out there and slept Pulev in 2 seconds, this would be minus 2,500. You know what I'm saying? So, but I don't. Why am I spending so much time analyzing this fight? Ateba, I already said it, dude. Ateba's gonna knock his fucking block off. I'm so retarded. Jesus. This channel fucking blows, bro. I mean, dude, if nobody watches this video, good. They should not. This is terrible content. Ateba's knocking his damn block off, and I'm gonna be here to see it because I want blood, you know. I want to fucking see it. Oh my god, next fight. Look at this fucking fight, man. Or what? You know, Jeremy Stevens getting back with dude, look at that record. 29 and 22. Holy shit. That is that is a record. Yeah. Yeah, that's a record that he has. Oh, that was so bad. Jeremy Stevens is coming off. Wait, was that? Yeah, he fought. He got his ass beat by Mason Jones last time. Now Mason Jones is a fucking dog, and I pick him to win every fight because I think he's a fucking dog. But Jeremy Stevens is not good. Bobby Green beat Lance Gibson. Lance Gibson just got a win. Logic. Now, if Jeremy Stevens, the hardest hitting 145er, knocks out Bobby, Robert, I'm not going to call him King Green because I'm going to be real with you. They wasn't Kangs. Well, they was Kangs, I guess. But we was Vikings. You know what I'm saying? Dude, what am I saying? He's playing a why is he putting like why is he making his name essentially we was Kangs is what I'm getting at. Why is he doing that? We was Kangs Green is gonna win. I'm picking we was Kangs Green. There, I'm picking him. I'm not racist though. Just why is that your name? You know? Why'd you change your name? That was your nickname as a fighter, and you made it your actual name. You're not Ocho Cinco, buddy. All right? You don't have the clout to do that. But nah, he's gonna win because he's actually good at this point. And I picked him to lose by KO. I think the last two times, and he's won. He just beat Zellhuber. Yeah, because I'm like, dude, he's so chinny. He's gonna get slept, but they don't touch him. So I don't think Stevens is gonna touch him. So there, Kane Green's gonna win. Oh no, this one, Sean Brady. Yo, Sean Brady versus Joaquin Buckley. Dude, ooh, I don't want to pick against the Philly boy like this. Listen, I picked him last time to beat Morales. I don't pick against the Philly boys usually. That's why I didn't pick against Sabatini. But dude, oh my, this is tough. This is very tough because on one hand, because what Buckley lost to Usman last time, and he kind of got smudged for 4 rounds. But then that fifth round, man, Buckley like learned how to defend a takedown suddenly and was piecing Usman up. And he beat the shit out of Colby, and he made Colby kind of like quit the sport. But I think, but Brady is so much better at like MMA grappling than Usman and Colby, right? To actually work and get submissions. But I don't actually think his pure wrestling skills for MMA, like pure takedown ability, is as good as Usman. But like, where's the threshold, right, that you need to take down Buckley? I don't really know that because I think Buckley has solid wrestling defense for MMA, right? So like, I just I have a question of whether Sean Brady's pure takedown ability meets the threshold of takedown ability required to get Buckley on the ground. Because let's be real, if Brady gets Buckley on the ground, he's submitting him. We're not like sitting here trying to debate whether he can submit him or not. It's just, is he gonna get him on the ground? And dude, on the feet at this point, dude, Brady's kind of a victim on the feet. So I think Bucky, Buckley being kind of shorter, not shorter. He's 5'10". That's not short. Whoa. Well, we don't have to discuss that. Hold on. But like 5'10", he's a shorter, stockier guy than Brady just fought, right? Michael Morales. Shorter and stockier compared to some of the welterweights, because you got fucking Ian Gary and Protez. They're like 6'3". But, dude, I keep saying but. Uh, Brady is like it suits Brady in the striking for like this is weird because it suits Brady in the striking better that Buckley's the same size as him. So I feel like Brady is gonna do better in the striking against a guy like Buckley than he will against Morales, which will feed in to his takedowns not needing to be as good as Usman's to get Buckley on the ground, in my opinion. But at the same time, I think I can just see Brady like the Bilal fight with Brady is just etched into my mind as like Buckley can do this to him. Because if he's on the back foot circling away when he gets hurt, Buckley can just go in and get the finish. And his arms are long too. Look at that 76-inch reach. This is a tough one for me. But like that, I mean, that's essentially it, right? That's the breakdown. I mean, Buckley has like he throws like long rangey hooks. He doesn't really have a jab game. He doesn't throw straight punches. He throws kicks very well as well. Like his rear body kick is pretty good. I just don't know what Brady has for him on the feet. But I think, but I'm not so sure Buckley's like fundamental boxing are good enough to just is good enough to just keep Sean Brady off him the entire time. I don't know. I mean, the pick, like, fuck the pick. I'm gonna pick Sean Brady because I'm not picking against the Philly boy. Not even racist. I like Buckley. I thought Buckley should have actually been at the press conference. He's entertaining. I like Buckley. I'm not gonna mind if Buckley gets a win. I actually like him. I prefer Buckley to, you know, beat Ian Gary's ass, right? But I'm not gonna pick against Sean Brady because I still, I'm not picking against the Philly boy. And I think I'm just gonna pick the guy that has the grappling advantage, right? That's what my official pick is gonna be. But like, this is a tough one for me, and it could go both ways, and it's gonna be interesting to see. I'm gonna be interested to see that one. Dude, we're going on 40 minutes here. Oh my god. Next fight on the card: Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Volkov. I don't want to like keep picking against Waldo and having him win because it fucking pisses me off when that happens. I picked Derek Lewis by KO last time as a joke, but you know my real pick was Waldo. You guys know that doesn't count. But again, Volkov. I'm gonna pick Volkov because he beat Jailton Almeida. Waldo can't fight like Almeida. Waldo's not gonna be able to really reach him like that. Volkov beat Cyril Gahn, right? So yeah, I'm just gonna pick Volkov. Longer, rangier. Gonna use his straight punch to keep Waldo off him. Gonna use his teep kicks to keep Waldo off him. Waldo can't take him down. Simple. That one's simple. Co-main event time. Tatsuro Taira versus Joshua Van. I mean, you can't really pick this fight correctly. No matter what you pick, you're bound to be wrong in some way. Because, like, I want to pick Josh Van as, like, the new, exciting, he's got the hand, he throws hands really good, he has really good boxing. But, dude, but Tyra, like, he's 5'7" at a 125, right? Like, he's huge for this weight class. And his grappling experience, like, say what you want, he's still young. But Van, I'm not so sure Van has like the experience in the sport of MMA to be able to deal with Tyra's grappling. Right now, I know he beat Pantoja last time. Not really. I don't know how. We don't even know how he would have dealt with Pantoja either, right? So, I think last time I picked Pantoja, um, and I actually think that Tyra has better control. Like he might not have better ability, like in techniques to get the back, like Pantoja does, but I think the threshold you need to get Josh Van's back probably isn't going to be, high between Tyra and Pantoja's skill, right? I think the skill required to do jiu-jitsu to Josh Van isn't going to be as high. Like it's not going to be so high that Tyra's not going to be able to get to dominant positions, right? I think Tyra can get to dominant positions, and because I just think Van is going to show that he lacks the experience. And I'm not trying to hate. I'm not trying to hate. I'm going to pick Tyra. But I want to see a scrap, right? I want to see an exciting fight. But I just think that Tyra is going to have the ability to take Van down. If he gets his back, we don't see Van, defense submissions ever. Um, and I think if Tyra can get to, and Tyra gets to upper body, right? Like he hits mostly upper body takedowns, and he mixes in feints really well. Like in the Moreno fight, he mixed in feints really well to be able to get to his takedown shots. And Moreno is actually an underrated grappler, right? So I'm just I don't want to pick Tyra to dominate Josh Van. I think they're gonna have striking exchanges, but ultimately I do think that Tyra's grappling is gonna win out in the end over Van. And Van's kind of small, right? I mean, I don't want to say small because his legs are kind of jacked, but you know what I mean. I don't think his frame isn't built to deal with Tyra's upper body style takedowns that he uses. He sort of leverages his height to be able to like muscle people down, which is a very tricky thing he does. But yeah, we'll see. But I wouldn't mind Van winning. If Van wins, we can actually run Van versus Pantoja, and that's more hype. Main event time. Okay, we'll get it out of the way. I'm gonna pick Hamzat. I'm not gonna say by submission or whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm just gonna pick Hamzat. Right. We know how this fight's gonna go. I mean, this might be a potential Khabib Connor situation afterwards, where Hamzat wins, and then Chris Curtis and Sean's boys are jumping in the cage, and Hamzat's boys are jumping in the cage or something. This might be that type of situation. This might be the real Khabib Connor, right? Like Ian Gary and Islam Makhachev is the Khabib is like they're trying to market that as the Khabib Connor 2.0, but this is the real Khabib Connor 2.0. And that yeah, essentially yeah, I'm picking this to be the real Khabib Connor 2.0. Whatever the hell that means, but nah, Hamza is Drickus was able to take Sean down. That's my thing. Dude, nobody can stop Hamzat's takedowns. You can't. Like no matter what you thought about the press conference, whether you like him or not, which I mean, both of them were being kind of annoying at the press conference, but honestly, I thought Hamzat was kind of winning the trash talk a little sometimes. When Sean goes, that was kind of a hard. Not, you gotta admit when Sean said, what did he say? He said, "This guy's a fucking terrorist," and Hamza goes, "Yeah, I'm a terrorist to you, bro." That was kind of hard. That was kind of hard. That was clever. But dude, again, I think that well, I want Sean to win, 100%. I want like just how is Hamzat? Hamzat's gonna try to get a finish because he's pissed off. I think because he's gonna want that moment, right? So he's gonna push for the finish this time because obviously his fight with Drickus was terrible Hamzat because Drickus is so girthy that Hamzat can't really get to any positions where he gets a submission. And even if he did, Drickus is just so girthy that he can like muscle him off the submission. But Drickus isn't athletic enough to get up to his feet, and that fight was terrible because of it. But I think that Sean might have better wrestling ability to get up to his feet than Drickus did. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. He's gonna be able to make Hamzat work more than Drickus, I think, on the ground when he does take him down. I think Hamzat is still gonna be able to take down Sean no matter what. So, but I think Sean's gonna be able to make him work more, and I think Hamzat's gonna want to strike with him sometimes to see what happens. And dude, if Sean is gonna win, you'll start to see it. It's gonna be like one of these fights where he starts slowly like building into it, and you'll be like, oh no, Hamzat's getting tired. Oh no, and then maybe he shoots and fails a takedown, and then oh Sean's teeping him and jabbing him and landing the right hand. Like, dude, if we get one of those moments and Sean becomes champion, that'd be crazy. I'm so like this fight is not interesting like just to analyze. Like I'm gonna pick Hamzat to take Sean down and do what he wants, but Dude, it's just like the thought of if Sean Strickland starts marching Hamzat down, you know what I'm saying? And just beating him up a little bit and getting a finish, I'll go crazy. So I think everyone in the stands at the arena will too. That'd be to get the belt back. That'd be insane. So yeah, we can hope something like that'll happen. So I'm gonna be nervous. I'm gonna be nervous about the fight when it starts, like right before it starts. But I'm just gonna pick Hamza, and hopefully I jinx it too, right? Like, what am I with main events? I picked Yuri. Yeah, that didn't. That was so retarded. But yeah, I picked Yuri. I picked Patty. You know, I picked Strickland last time actually, and he got it done. I picked Charles. I picked Volk. I would have picked Prates if I made a video last week, but I don't. I don't really do fight nights. It's not like I have anything better to do. I should be, but if I want to take this channel seriously, who else? I was picking Vallejos. I was picking Launer. I picked Launer Kavanaugh to beat Moreno. I don't even know what other fight nights we had. I actually kind of thought Prates would do that to JDM last week. Not that I want to see it happen, but I don't know. Yeah, this is the video's pretty much over at this point. You can click off now, but if you want to hear me try to go over like what I was picking for the fight nights, see, I want to see if I can put some like magic on Strickland getting the win. Who else did I pick? I was gonna pick. I might have picked Sterling. I don't know who I was gonna pick between Aljamain and Yusuf Zalal. I picked Mike. I would have picked Mike Malott. I would have picked Mike Kano. Yeah, I was picking Pfeiffer. I was picking Evloev. I did pick Mario. Yeah, so I'm pretty much the only main events I could have gotten wrong this year were like if I would have picked Yusuf Zalal and obviously Patty didn't win. But other than that, yeah, I've been pretty good with main events, so I don't know. Besides Yuri. I'm a pick, but yeah, that's the end of the video. Like and subscribe. I don't know. What else do I have to say? I'm gonna do a reaction video for this because I'll get views on that. Um, no more Iran war stuff. Covered all of it, right? Shit, dude. We'll just wait and see. If this goes bad though, I'm gonna be pissed if Trump doesn't get a good deal out of that. That's when I'm gonna then switch up. I'm gonna switch up on him at that point. But I'm not one of these like I don't get fanatical about politics. I just kind of like go with who aligns more with what I like. And Trump is that because I think because of globalism is bad, but like Alex Jones shit, globalism is bad. But he's kind of like, yeah, if he loses this war, that'd be bad. But I don't think they're losing. That's the thing. Like I just don't like the media lying about it. Anyway, peace.